Hey, this is Beverly Bozeman. I am an author and creator of Speak Queen, an encouraging platform for women. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Be sure and share this broadcast with your friends and your family. Be sure and subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you will know when I drop a video. Again, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Last night, I read a quote entitled, "Heavy is the head that wears the crown." To me, that can mean so many different things. And I've read the quote multiple times, and I got different things out of it. But last night, it really hit a little different. The one thought that came to my mind and it kind of stuck around was one crown, one queen. And I thought about that for a while. And what came to mind as far as like a visual was, never in the history of the world have I seen or heard of a person or a queen sharing a crown. Like, there has never been legitimately, for party sake or whatever, that's whatever, but legitimately, there's never been a crown that was built for two. Never been one gigantic crown and two women put their heads together to wear that one crown. And what I got from that and the quote is that when you are trying to fulfill the calling on your life, or what you were put here to do, rather, you're going to have to do it by yourself. You're going to have to take that journey by yourself. There will be people who will be inserted in your life for a season or for a specific thing. But overall, you're going to have to do it by yourself. One crown, one queen. And one of the main things about that is you're going to have to be okay with that. In order to answer or fulfill what you're supposed to do in life, you got to be okay with fulfilling it by yourself. I know that women like to travel with their besties or travel in packs, going out to eat together, going to the movies together, going on vacation, going on double dates or whatever, going to get the hair and the nails done and, spa day and all of that. That's great. And we just buddy up and we go out and do it. But when you get serious about what it is you're supposed to do with your life, you got to be okay with doing that by yourself. And I don't mean that you got to cut people off and ignore them and treat them like whatever. I mean that when it comes time to get serious, there's going to have to be a time frame or a season or days, weeks, months, whatever, to where you got to be by yourself to work on that thing that you got to work on. It could be improving yourself and then other people seeing it and they are affected by that. Or it could be literally taking a position in your neighborhood, part of Neighborhood Watch, a place in local government, federal, city, county, state government, at your church, whatever. But you got to be okay with doing it by yourself. I know I got to do this, and I know I can't include my girlfriends. It is what it is. They're just going to have to be okay because I got to do this. That's what I mean. And another thing that came to mind with that is that, according to the quote, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Now, when we envision somebody being crowned like the Miss America pageant, or literally where they have queens and kings, when they have, what do they call it? Not dignitaries, but anyway, when people are being crowned, they have their heads upright, they're standing tall, they're looking serious, or they're smiling or whatever, and the crown is being placed on their head. I have a crown. Imagine that. Yes, ready, Freddy. So the head is up, they're smiling or looking straight ahead or whatever, and the crown is placed on top, and everybody's skinning and grinning. Yay! But in real life, this is, like propped. a prop or whatever. But in real life, I heard the crowns are heavy because they're like made out of real strong material. So if they had to wear that crown all day, every day, their head would probably go down like this, right? But according to the quote, the crown, as beautiful as it represents responsibility. It represents sacrifice. It represents those non-glamorous things. And as you walk along daily, weekly, monthly, yearly to fulfill that call, it's going to get heavy. Those responsibilities, those burdens, those times alone, those sacrifices makes you lower your head because you're like, gee whiz, I didn't know. And you have to expect that. You have to expect that things are going to get tough along the journey. And if you expect it, you got to be okay with it to a certain extent. Now, some stuff is not going, you're going to have to fight against it, of course, but you just be okay with being alone for your fulfillment. Be okay with the heaviness that comes along with it, the responsibility, the sacrifices, the burdens you have to bear. Those are two things that came to my mind when I heard heavy is the head that wears the crown. And here are some benefits that come along with those things, especially with being alone to fulfill that call. One is you will be able to hear from God better. I know we hear from God in whatever ways we hear from God, but when you are not surrounded by people all the time, you're not on the phone all the time, you're not getting information from social media all the time, you can hear from God so well, and it is awesome. It is just awesome. And you have to be able to hear from God because you got to get instructions. You can't go and fulfill the calling on your life or whatever it is that you're supposed to do and just on your own. And you definitely can't get the counsel of people who haven't been called to do it. They don't know what they're doing. They're doing something totally different. And you're going to ask them, should I do this? How should I do that? They don't know. You got to go to God about that. The other thing is, one of the other benefits of being alone when you are working on fulfilling your calling is you can get stuff done. During the time when you're not surrounded by people or dropping what you're doing to go and help people and go to this event and go to that event, you're going to be able to get stuff done because you have the free time. It will create a discipline in you to get stuff done. And if you get it done ahead of schedule, shoot, you got the time to go and frolic with your friends. But how can you get things done that's going to help towards fulfilling the calling if you ain't never by yourself? You always got somebody over. You always over to their house. Y'all always going to eat. You always, well, anyway, that part. And then another benefit of being alone is that you will grow. You will have time to reflect on the things that you think about, why you think that way, how long you've been thinking that way. You'll grow in terms of, why do I even like that? Why do I even do that? I saw so-and-so doing it, or whoever got me doing that. I don't want to do that no more. I'm kind of, I've been doing it for a long time. Time for something different. But you never realize those things about yourself if you're never alone. If you're always surrounded by people. When you learn things about yourself, you'll know to stop doing things, start doing things. You'll want to read more or be exposed to different things so that you can implement those things in your calling. And the last benefit of being alone when you're working on your calling is you will be more independent. We don't realize how dependent we are on our friends, on our family, because we're never away from them. If we are forced to, and it's even a greater of a revelation when you are forced to be alone. And what I mean by that is God will snatch your friends from you. He will isolate you from your family. And it doesn't have to be anything tragic. It could be, they're working different schedules than you now, or they're in a relationship and you're not. It can be things like that. But once you are no longer on a regular basis around those people doing those things, and you're forced to be by yourself, or you choose to be by yourself, you develop this independence because you realize, I didn't know I was so strong. I didn't know I was so smart. I didn't know I could learn things so fast. I didn't know how bad I felt about myself. I didn't realize how much I gossiped about people. You develop this independence when you're away from people, and then you realize things about yourself. I can do this. It's something you're going to have to tell yourself on a regular basis. That comes along with your independence. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys, because when I heard that quote last night or read it or whatever, it just hit different. One crown, one queen. If you are going to do what it is that you are supposed to do with your life, you can't carry people with you. You can't share the crown with nobody. One crown, one queen. You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with being alone. You got to be okay with the sacrifices and the burden that comes along with it. Just my 2 cents. Anyways, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Again, be sure and share this broadcast with your friends and your family. Remember to release your genius. Pull off the impossible every day. You will have whatever it is that you say. So be positive when you speak, Queen.